This is a long-running series where we bring industry and academic leaders to share their insights on the challenges and opportunities across the globe. From a school perspective, we have a significant student alumni spanning multiple countries in the Middle East, in addition to many long-standing partnerships with both the public and the private sector. And in that context, we are honoured to welcome Manal Al-Madi today, Deputy Governor of the Saline Water Conversion Corporation in Saudi Arabia. Manal, I know that you've made time for us today in amongst a very busy schedule. So the format of this session is that we'll talk for around 20 to 30 minutes and then we'll invite audience questions. We invite you, the audience, to post any brief questions that you have in the chat box of whichever platform you are using, and we'll attempt to cover as many of the questions as possible. Manal, before we explore your leadership role, it would be good to help set the context for our conversation. Can you share with us how Saudi Arabia has changed over the last 2 years?
Thank you very much for having me today in this historical, prestigious institution. It's my pleasure to be with you today. Actually, before the 2 years since His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, announced the vision of 2030 initiatives, the picture changed among all the sectors, government, public, and also focusing in empowerment, women and leadership program.
Thank you. So a big shift in the space of that 2 years. And what does that mean for women and more specifically women in leadership roles?
Actually, it's open opportunities for women in different sectors, and we have in roles and decision maker, and we have a big names now among the government sector, while we have in foreign affairs ministry 5 diplomatic, one of them representing the European Union, and also as well as in different sector in culture, in art, in fashion, sport. For example, sport, we had no one since the vision, and now almost we have over than 300 ladies in pipeline. So, and there is more coming in different sectors. So achieving a big participant from female in different ages, something that we acknowledge by this vision.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And what does that, in terms of the younger generation of the women, do the younger generation of women view the situation differently to maybe your generation of women?
Actually, I can say they will achieve earlier what we achieve now. So they will have the chance earlier than us by having the role model today presenting in different sector, and by the gender equality, by the position giving for them as well as we have it for male, and for the full support in different sectors and different fields. So I think they have a great opportunity. The priority is now for the female, the leadership program, and empower the women. So I think the chance it's open for them. The doors are open. They have a good support in different aspects.
Thank you. And so that's really helpful context setting for us to understand some of the changes in Saudi Arabia and the impact for the role of women. From a leadership point of view, you're in a prominent role as Deputy Governor in the Saline Water Conversion Corporation and the only woman leader in the water sector. So what changes have you achieved in this role, and what do you hope to achieve?
Actually, my primary focus was enhancing the sustainability and the environment of water sector, and also encourage and focusing in innovation and the latest technology, the best practices to make the water affordable for everybody, and keep the environment in the best situation for us as a global, or even with the seeking for the water.
So big, but potentially a really big impact for sustainability. And what influenced you to pursue this career path? When did you first sort of what took you along this career path from when you were younger?
I didn't get your question again.
So what influenced you to pursue this particular career path?
Yes, yes. I'll be out of the formality and like try to tell you a story that happened with me and my families.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, since we've been in vacation, we went to one of the country, and they just informed us since we arrived to the hotel that we have a quantity of water that we can use. So being يعني with my family and kids, it was a bit challenge how I will explain for my kids this is the quantity available for you today to use it, because we never faced it in our country, and the water was something that it's affordable, so it wasn't an issue. And then it comes to my mind, I need to know what is the real situation, and what is يعني the water is life, so we can't ignore the needs and the issue of the water. So I just jumped to my to my the website of our kingdom, the MIWA, I mean the Ministry of Water, and checking the numbers and the achievement. And then it become a turning point from my life. So I feel the responsibility toward the global needs, and why we how can we get the best practice that we have in kingdom and carry it all over the world, so we can have a good a good, let's say, participation, or be proactive according to the global needs. So that's the main influence, or this is the main influence that it lets me go and join the sector.
That's really helpful. And what was your journey to reach this role? So in terms of your sort of professional qualifications and the journey from school onwards, what did that look like?
Actually, I graduate since 2001, and I've been in different sector: non-profit, private, human capital development, commerce ministry, and different sector. And it comes at the end that the water is a global, as I said, and the sustainability of the water for future generation, let me convert all the experience that I have, all the knowledge that I have, how I can get the benefit of my journey, and reflect it on giving the best services and the best outcome from my journey to the sector, or help the sector global wise.
That's great. And can you tell me a little bit more about the sort of stepping stones, the steps along the way? Like unpack for me a little bit more about what qualifications you took and what the nature of each of those different elements of public and private sector were.
Yes, actually, it's different. You know, when you work, being passion, and you have the skills of it's not about education or experience as much as passion, how much responsibility you have toward the global. And from this, I think this is the motivation while I joined the water sector, as I told you, is passion, and how I can get the benefit of my journey all along the years before.
Thank you. And did you experience obstacles along the way? And if you did, how did you overcome them? So did you face any barriers to particular roles or any other challenges?
Yes, of course. I think every leader, you want to be a leader if you don't face challenges. But I actually believe that never, يعني, or never believe that challenges is something that can stop you, but you can make convert the challenges to be opportunity, and this is the way how you can create a big achievements.
And can you tell me a little bit more about the challenges? Because I think leaders around the world would be interested to hear about the sort of nature of individual challenges and what they meant for you as a leader.
Yes, being يعني we just recently starting the empower the women and the leadership, and being with this workforce as or you consider yourself in the beginner group of ladies who leading or starting or approaching this a new role. It's a bit challenges, but I think we can come over because we have the full support, we have the full enablement from the leaders, from our kingdom also leaders. So I think we come across it, and we pass, and we achieved, and we have a lot, because we believe in ourselves, and we believe in our country, and believe about our skills and capability.
Yeah, so what would, if you were giving advice to other women leaders who are maybe at a more junior stage or a younger stage, what advice would you give them about how to sort of pursue this sort of career path?
It's the right time to jump in. It's the right time. They have nothing to do except just to do the step. Come and join us.
And to work in the water sector, what sort of qualifications should they be looking at? What sort of is the nature of some of the roles in the water sector?
There is many different roles, engineering path. They have a research also and development. We have a business development. We have many as any sectors. I mean, the water sector is exactly like any other sectors. They have many different. Sectors, like as I told you, engineering could be researches, could be development, strategic partnership is one of them also, where we can link with the people and have a good opportunity to explore what you have, and to learn more also about and it takes you up beyond the expectation. So we have an HR, we have an IT people, we have AI. So most
There's
of
huge scope.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
think they have a big opportunity to be with us.
Yes. And Manal, what's really motivated you on your leadership journey? I know you talked about the sort of passion you have for this particular area and the turning point. But if you go back to when you first when you were, first started out, what's motivated you at different stages along that journey?
Uh, I can summarize them in three words: dreams, belief, and commitment.
And in
Com-
terms in terms of role models, who have you looked to as role models along that journey?
I think Her Royal Highness Princess Rima bint Bandar, our ambassador in USA. So she's our role model, actually.
And many leaders talk probably much more openly nowadays about the fact they experience imposter syndrome. Has that been your experience? And if so, how have you managed it?
Actually, I keep always my networking open, and I try to updating my knowledge, and um, keeping myself always within the sectors and industrial globally.
Yeah, so you look to build your networks
Yes,
in the industry and more widely.
exactly.
Yes. And what misconceptions about being a female leader in Saudi Arabia would you most like to clear up?
I think that maybe the old beliefs or customs that it's not exist anymore. Now I think we don't face any by the full support and the full empower from our leader and from our kingdom. So I don't think there is any now. So simply they can join this journey and they can succeed.
Which is such a positive message and wonderful to hear. I think we'll turn now to some questions, and we've got some questions in the chat. And thank you to everyone in the audience for starting to post some questions. That's really helpful. And we've got a question from Zaina in Riyadh. What key skills do you believe leaders in the region need to enable Saudi Arabia to achieve the 2030 vision?
A full commitment.
And can you elaborate on that?
A full commitment. I mean, the Vision 2030 is a long-term plans, and it's set up by KPIs, and most of the government reaching now maybe more than half, and we have a figures, and it's all about how to be committed and stick to your goals.
Thank you. And Nick in Oxford has said, who has had the biggest influence on your career and why?
Actually, my family, my father, he's the one who is. Maybe you can't believe it, but since or before even the vision, he was calling me the future minister. So it was a
Oh,
real encouragement word for me, and I do really believe on that.
that's wonderful. So you've had a lot of support from your family by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And I'm just wondering if there's any more questions from the audience. Let me just see if we have any more. I think we've got another question on the screen here. So there's a good question from Robin Qatar. How do you develop other female leaders in the SWCC and beyond? Because I think this is an interesting challenge. In Oxford, we have a Women Transforming Leadership programme, which helps to develop and support women leaders in developing senior roles. So what mechanisms are there in Saudi Arabia and in SWCC?
They have a full support by encourage them to apply in many leadership program, and we have the chances and the position are available, the payroll equality, the position equality, the gender equality, all this encourage women to be a leader. So
Thank you.
quick or even in other government sectors.
Yes. And I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions coming through from the audience. Yes, so if just saying to the audience, if you could please post any questions in the social media chat, and then we can pick those up and answer those. And Manal, I'm interested to know from a future perspective, you're obviously very ambitious and you've achieved a very senior role relatively early on in your career. So what are your ambitions for the future? What are you hoping to achieve going forward?
Never end. It's only for me. It's yeah, it's the beginning, it's the startup. Still, I have a lot to give, I have a lot to develop, I have a lot to deliver. I think we have a great future, and we have a great vision where we can find ourselves in more senior position, and leading a very important portfolio. So
I'm interested to know, what do you think are some of the unique qualities that you bring to the leadership role that have been recognised to cause you to be promoted as rapidly as you have?
I think flexibility, facing the challenging, never give up, passion.
So having that sort of really strong persistence is maybe a quality in terms of not giving up, and having persistence and tenacity is some of the qualities that maybe all leaders need to have in the current times.
Exactly.
And I've got a question from Sally in London. She's asked, what sort of female-specific leadership development programs do you do?
Actually, I took until now 3 different programs. One of them, leadership from INSEAD. I have also another program, next level for leadership from London Business School, and I have another program. It's local program. It's called قياديات leadership. So.
And can you tell me a little bit more about the local program, what that's involved?
Actually, that's been approached for all the leaders in Saudi. We can call it as a platform where you can having all the leaders in one platform, so you can recognize exactly where they fit, so you can give them the opportunity as soon as any new roles is needed. So the platform is ready for all of them, and they select. They've been through different exams and uh, and courses until they get them ready to the next role.
Yes, that sounds like a really helpful stepping stone for many leaders in
Yeah.
terms of their progress. And Laurie, who's an MSc sociology student from Oxford, says, I think this is an excellent question. How do you maintain work-life balance as a female leader?
Yeah, this is, I think I heard it a lot, but I think being a leader, something that it's built inside the leader, so you can manage your life and your and my belief that life is balanced. You never be successful in workforce forgetting your family, and this is a balance. So I think it's easy to do the balance, believing in your role as a leader, believing in your role as or with your family, with your friends. Something that I mean, you have it inside you. You cannot get it from practice, but many people, they have it by nature. So for me, I didn't face any issue on that, and I do the balance.
And can you share any sort of practical ways that you do that? Practical ways that you maybe prioritize your time or you manage?
Set your objective yearly, annual
Yeah.
objective. Set your objective annual, and you have to be stick to it. What is your objectives with your family? What is your objectives with your health? What is your objectives with your work? And easily you can manage them, and some of them you can change it after you achieve it, or after you used to have it, and the other is maintained, because year by year you practice it. So
Yes. So you sort of improve over time
yeah.
at managing it. So thank you for that. And I've got a question here from Christy in Namibia. What can African women learn from the strides women like yourself have made?
Can you please repeat it?
Of course. What can African women learn from the strides or the developments that women like yourself have made?
I think be open to global, and be open to all the leaders. Keep maintain your network. Read a lot, search a lot, find the success story among the social networking media. Now it helps a lot to look after success stories. So. And it's also a passion. Yeah, be passionate, believe in yourself. This can give you the full motivation.
Yes, you certainly exude confidence, the quiet confidence in the way you come across as a leader, I think, having had the pleasure of sort of working with you. And another question from Andrew in London is, what do you hope to achieve in your future career? I think we've touched on this, but it'd be interesting
Yeah,
to have
I think.
know, like, maybe more specifically what you hope to achieve.
Yeah, actually, I think we have a lot to achieve. Maybe things that I want to focus in is the private business, with something that one of my hobbies, I can do as يعني align with something that I love, and doing it as a private.
Thank you. Just invite the audience if there's any other questions you'd like to ask, and thank you very much to everyone who's already asked questions. We really appreciate that, and it's really been great to unpack those. If there's any other questions anyone would like to ask, please do post them in the social media chat. So we'll just wait a few more minutes just to see if there's any further questions coming through. And Manal, what do you see as some of the from the water sector perspective? There's obviously a number of sort of challenges for us, as you've mentioned, around the water sector and sustainability. What do you see? How do you see us overcoming some of those challenges?
One of the challenges may be the climate change, and but we have a lot of plans, and we consider it. So we work on it by R&D and technology, and trying to proactive plans, and maintain the global issues.
Thank you. And I've got a question here from Bebe's son. What practical advice would you give to a new generation of aspiring females?
Never give up. Never give up. Never. Always there is a way. Always there is a way. Just change maybe the direction.
And how do you do that? I mean, because you know, that sort of persistence that you describe of never giving up, where do you find the inner strength when you're faced with a really major sort of complex challenge? Where do you find the inner strength from to keep persisting in the face of obstacles when maybe other leaders might find that too much?
Patient, and think it twice. Try to think the sources of the challenge. Is it from yourself, or the surrounding environment? A bit analysis, and you can come over. If it's fit with you, you can do better and think about more solution. If it's not, you can change the direction, and you can find yourself in better place.
And just in terms of achieving that, you know, changing direction, how do you make that happen in maybe you know, when you're a leader in a complex organization? How do you encourage people to make that change in direction? Because that can be quite challenging from a change management point of view.
I have a good example by country, not by individual. Saudi Arabia is completely changed this previous years, and if there is a success story we can say in 21st century, it's Saudi Arabia. So changes is available. So you can change. There is nothing can stop the passion and stop the desire to have your achievements.
Thank you very much. Well, Manal, I think we've exhausted the list of questions we had from the audience, but you're hugely inspiring, I think, to women leaders, and we really appreciate the time you've taken today to share with us your leadership vision and to talk to us through your leadership journey. We really appreciate your time today, and thank you very much for joining us on this seminar series.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and see you soon. I hope that I answer all the questions, and wish you a good luck, and waiting for more and more leadership with your channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye for now.
Bye bye.